Welcome to the NAPE YouTube site. In my last video I examined DFE's 2025 framework for writing. One of my observations was that the teaching of handwriting did not take into account children's physical development at reception age. Mark making and emergent writing was downplayed. Therefore, as a reminder about teaching of handwriting, I make absolutely no apology for reissuing a handwriting video for early years I produced some 5 years ago. Most of the content is still relevant today and emphasises key points that the framework seems to have missed out. However, I urge you to visit the Centre for Literacy in Education's website and freely download their full scales of writing as a PDF. Links in the description. The handwriting scale is derived from the Centre for Literacy in Primary Education's writing scale. What's occurred here is that the handwriting elements have been taken from it. The first stage is the beginner writer, and the second row refers to how children can be best supported. Perhaps it might be a good idea to pause here to give you a chance to read it. Christopher Jarman, in his book The Development of Handwriting Skills, a teacher's resource book, available from NAPE, says that a handwriting lesson is a movement lesson in miniature. This means that a child's level of motor development is an important gauge against which to measure his handwriting needs. In particular, of course, it is the fine motor development which demands exercising. The following activities are well suited to encouraging early handwriting skills with preschool children, infants, or those children who have difficulty in fine motor control required for handwriting. These are, for example, sorting little toys and bricks into boxes, posting shapes into shaped holes, clay and plasticine modelling, cutting with scissors, especially cutting along lines, pasting cut-out shapes, jigsaw puzzles, following mazes with fibre or felt tip, all forms of free drawing, dot-to-dot pictures, colouring in pictures with crayons or fibre tips, the tracing or copying of certain patterns, collecting cut-out letters. The second stage is the early writer, and again how children can be best supported in those early stages of learning to write. Occupational therapists would advise that the hand does not fully develop until around the age of 6. So a child's fine motor control is not physically ready to manage the complex skill of handwriting. The result could be physical pain, frustration, and possibly even a sense of failure. Now, some 5-year-olds who are early readers can begin to write and read a joined cursive style, but this is uncommon. Most 5-year-olds will copy words printed for them in large irregular letters. If guidelines are used, little notice will be taken of them, and capital letters and small letters are often mixed indiscriminately. Some 5-year-olds begin to reverse letters even if they do not do so at 4. At this stage, children often leave out a letter in a word or a number in a row of digits. What is basic to the Roman handwritten alphabet is basic to all the different styles of handwriting taught in schools. Teaching handwriting is to develop children's perception of this basic hand and its development as a skill. The first task in developing children's perception is to understand the precise pattern shapes which are involved in basic handwriting. Now, there's only a few useful patterns. They arise through selecting certain regular family shapes used in cursive writing. These first basic shapes are suitable for very young children as soon as they are able to hold a pencil, say from 3, 4 to 5-year-old children, and those children who have difficulty in coordinating their handwriting. This, of course, will result in all kinds of attempts. Okay, Grace, have a go at those patterns and see if you can do the U shape pattern. Up and down. Up and down. Oh, those are nice big shapes. That's great. Any other patterns are best discarded, as they will not encourage correct hand movements. The idea prevalent in some schools that almost any pattern work is good handwriting practice is a mistaken one. When you look at this resultant pattern, do not be discouraged. A child has a lot to learn at this stage, namely perception of the pattern, which end of the pencil to write with, hand and arm muscle control, how to grip the pencil, how to stop the paper from moving, copying skills such as transferring his or her attention from the pattern to their own paper and remembering it, left to right movement of a writing pattern, matching for size and height of pattern, and many other new skills such as sitting still and listening to an adult's instructions.